Review of the X3. It's raining now, and you also know that I've done this car during the launch, the preview and all that. So yeah, the X3 looks like that. Not a particularly aggressive design. The only aggression that they did was to enlarge the kidney grills. So these kidney grills are massive now. Okay, they're really huge. But I think this car, in terms of size, right, it could have easily been an X5, right? It easily matches up to the previous X5. It's big, it's comfortable, it's good looking, but is it striking? No, it's not striking. It could have passed you and you wouldn't have realized that this is the new X3 at all. Because there aren't many visual cues that you can easily pick up from this car. There are no specifically striking stuffs about this car that makes you pick it up. Oh, that's the new X3 that everyone's talking about. It doesn't. And coincidentally, we have a competitor parked next to it. See that? Yeah, it was just right here. One of the so interesting. Let's have a look. Let's have a comparison between these two visually. Okay. So this is classic BMW design, a large portion here and then a slimmer one here to have the L motif, okay, but they seem to have thrown that away in the new X5's rear lamps. Okay, this brown looks really good, and actually the XC60 also has a brown that is similar to this, but this one has a more orangey tone to it. It's a nice color, it's a nice beautiful color, okay. And then outside here you have these chrome strips, and they look good, and then the rails here as well, but there's no panoramic roof or sunroof of any sort. Of course you get keyless entry, and I like the fact that the doors actually wrapped up the bottom half here so that it sort of covers this part, and you don't get some mud or whatever here. Then when you go up the car, it's going to bring it into the cabin. And the other part will be this. Look at that. Look at the construction of this. Okay, the door opening is here, and when you open it up, you can see that this part here, the doors are pretty light in all these new German cars. This part here actually covers up. So what this means is all the mud and water will splash against this and then will not reach here, which might dirty up here or wet it, and then you might bring it into the cabin. Comparatively, you look at the XC60. Okay? The doors actually reach all the way here into the wheel well. There are no covers over here that prevents the water from going in between this and this. So during a heavy rain, you will find water here. Yes, there is a rubber seal here, but this only presses against this. And at the end of the day, this is still one soft piece. Water might still seep in. And see that? Okay, so let's have a little look. These Bridgestone Alenzas or something, they are alright, but they are nowhere comparable to the Michelin Latitudes that are supplied by Volvo for the XC60. These are really, really good SUV tires. Alright, let's go inside. Again, the doors are pretty lightweight in all these new German cars. I mean, yeah, they have to make them lighter, but to have them moving around like that after you open, you don't really appreciate that. Okay, the door panels over here, the moldings are okay, but there are some sharp ridges inside there. This is where it's particularly glaring. This part, that is the molding of this part versus this armrest, this leather-clad armrest. This seam here is pretty sharp. It is pretty sharp. You can go into any X3 and try it for yourself. Okay, it's pretty sharp. I don't like that. I don't appreciate that. The buttons for the seats as well, they don't look as premium as before. But I'm nitpicking here. I'm seriously nitpicking here. This one as well, as a BMW owner, you can immediately feel that there are some cost optimizations happening here. And again, it's no huge deal, but as a BMW owner, you can tell. The stalks also, the plastics don't feel as high quality, but again, it's still not too big an issue, but noticeable to BMW owners. Alright? So the interior is a nice modern BMW interior, but they haven't departed in any way from their usual design language or their usual ideology when it comes to interiors. Okay, this part doesn't look really nice, and the plastics just, it's not that nice looking, but overall, again, I'm still nitpicking. Okay, leather inlays, the leather doors, cards, and then the wood inlays. The wood doesn't look really real, so I'm willing to put 100 ringgit to say that it's not the real stuff, but if I lose, I'll just donate that 100 ringgit. Okay, you get a very nice large cubby space here that you can just drop just about anything in there and then just close it. Comfortable armrest. No wireless charger of any sorts here, you know, and there's just this sliding lid, and that's about it. That's the interior. You get a little compartment over here that is covered in felt, and it's pretty large, so it's usable. There are no down here, you don't get any sort of compartment here. It's just exposed stuffs going on here, and this is manual. I really like cars that have this. Okay, let's have a look at the back. Okay. Alright. The seating position is a little bit upright, and I have about 1 palm of headroom, and it's alright. It's alright. But the bench, look at the bench. See that? See that? I'm seated all in already. I still have about 4 fingers to reach my the back of my knee. So this is not a full length bench or full depth, but I get to rest my feet underneath the front seats, which is pretty good. I don't get aircon vents on the B pillars. I only get aircon vents here in the center here. So there are no roofs of any sort of glass panel or whatsoever. That would have helped. That would have made the car rather more enjoyable. Okay, come to the boot. This is what I appreciate the most, is the boot. It's huge, it's square, it's deep, it's tall, and you have rails over here. You have some hook points over here, some teh tarik hooks, and then you can actually pull this to release the seats. I really appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. Look at that. Beautifully goes down. Alright. The tonneau cover, on the other hand, is better than the Cayenne, where the Cayenne, remember, the Cayenne has a very soft plastic piece here where this tip would chip away the plastics. This one, of course, doesn't do that, but I kind of hope that as a premium car you can have something over here so that you can glide this thing up, you know. Now in terms of mechanism, now they are exactly the same as Audis. They put the motor inside here. There's one motor over here, there's one motor over here, and look at it, the whole boot lid is supported and moved by the motor on the place where it is most heavy. Look at that. If I ask you to lift something up, the heaviest part to hold it would definitely be here. But that's where they choose to put the motor, which is like how Audis do it. Whereas, oops, is it locked? Wait, let me try and open the doors. It wasn't locked just now. And okay, let's open the boot. And you look at Volvo's approach, which is exactly the same as how previous BMWs would have done it. They would have put a powered strut. This is what we call a powered strut. The strut itself is powered, you know, basically. So you are actually holding the boot lid at this center point where it is the lightest or the most balanced, I would say. Okay. Sorry, I'm gonna cut off that phone call. And then now we come to the Volvo. As a comparison, look inside the boot. You see this? The rail here? This is what I mean by additional sophistication. Okay? So now you have the tonneau cover like that, and then you just lift this slightly, and then the whole thing will go up. Easy. Okay? But you can immediately tell this boot is in no way comparable to that one in terms of size. Okay? Whereas the BMW has a lever to put down the seats, Volvo actually one-ups it. You have a button. Look at that. You press this and then it goes down. And do you notice one thing? It is full flat. Whereas this one, there is a slight angle, but this is nitpicking, alright? So in terms of the magic that happens behind here, I think this one again shows that it's more sophisticated, I would say. Okay, you have some straps over here, and then you have, okay, this is the T8, of course. You get the charger cables and things like that. Alright, so I put this back here, and then come to the rear seats. Okay, these brown leathers are really nice. Oh, this part is really heavy. Okay, let's come in here. Okay, let's show you this one. Look at that. See my knees? The back of my knees are here. Remember the BMW, I have 4 fingers that I can put in. So this bench is actually full depth. Okay? And I still have about 4 fingers of headroom. And then I get, look at that, a panoramic roof in the XC60. Okay? And then the XC60 also gets, sorry, it's really warm here, B-pillar aircon vents. As opposed to the ones in the middle. B-pillar aircon vents are more practical. And of course this is the T8, and then you have the Bowers & Wilkins. Now, it's unfair to compare it this way, even though the prices are not that too far apart. Because this one is a hybrid, locally assembled hybrid, with the hybrid tax incentive. Okay. Now, in terms of design, let's look at both from a design perspective. Okay. So the rain has stopped. Okay, let's have a look at the exterior. Okay, definitely the X3 has a more rugged look. The X3 has a more defined exterior, whereas the XC60, one slight glance you would have thought it's a sedan, right? The front is very sharp, very low. It's very sleek. This one looks huge. In fact, I think this car is taller, maybe wider, maybe bigger in every dimension externally. Okay, but in terms of interior, they are not too far apart. In fact, the Volvo XC60 rear seats are very comfortable. In fact, I find the XC60's rear seats are more comfortable than the XC90's second row. Of course, the best would be the S90. Alright, so yeah, that's a quick comparison between exterior designs of these two cars. I think this one looks more expensive. That one has its merits as well, but overall, I just find that in terms of specifications, there aren't many surprises coming out from this car. But it's the solutions that this car has that no other competitor can compare. Concierge service, BMW connected drive. Alright, so that's the xDrive 30i. 252 horsepower, comparable to the T5. Okay, and of course the GLC 250. No, this is supposed to be the power levels of a GLC 300, which wasn't available in Malaysia yet. Cheers.